because when the country was founded, you remember, Maryland was a Catholic state.
Yep.
Okay, that's why it's called Maryland. Okay, um, Pennsylvania, all the Quakers went to Pennsylvania because they're like, hey, we don't fit with the Puritans up in the Massachusetts Bay Colony.
Yep.
We don't really fit with some of the others down south. So they were allowed into. Okay, so all the states kind of had their own religious preference, and that's where people went. The Puritans went to Massachusetts. The Quakers went to Pennsylvania. The Catholics went to Maryland, etc. Right. So as they got together and they framed the Constitution, they said we're not going to have, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the First Amendment that said we're going to let people practice religion however they want, right? So that's saying we are not going to establish a
Allegedly.
federal national church. Okay, it doesn't say it. There was never an intent to say if you guys want to have prayer. Well, it's kind of silly to say because public schools didn't really exist in 1776,
Right.
uh, but right? But if they said, "Hey, we're going to have the legislature, and if people want to come in and have a prayer in the legislature before we start the session, okay, cool. I
Cool.
mean, whoever wants to do it, whatever. That's no big deal. We've had that happen. We used to have prayers in the legislature, but it got to
Yep.
the point where it was twisted to say separation of church and state. Ah, completely separate. Now that said, that's why we're now having this argument